Hey, goedemorgen. Good morning, everybody. Hello.
Hello. Hello, guys.
For a second, this was the very, very first time we were really cutting it too close, Arjen. I think this was the
Yes.
first time in 126 streams that we were 1 minute late, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm usually the one who is early. You're the one who is usually just in time.
Just in
Um,
time, yeah? Not too late, not too late.
no, that's what I said. Just in time. Yeah. Yeah. Just in time. And yeah, the reason that we're starting a little bit late is because I have literally just finished checking in 6 guests. So that's good news, and they are lovely people, and yeah, they're happy to be here. So yay.
Yay! Well, I could not wish for a better excuse, to be honest.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. Yeah,
Hi,
yeah,
Catherine.
a little bit soupy, here.
Yeah,
And
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah, Wim knows exactly what that means because he has his weekly riddle again here. I don't know
he
where
does.
they are. I don't think they are in Almere at the moment because he says we have to take it slow a little bit because here it's still morning. But by doing so, we are already used to the time in Almere. So I don't know where he is at the moment.
Okay.
But
Um,
maybe that's what he says. But
yeah,
anyway, good, very very good morning, everybody.
yeah.
Catherine
Catherine,
was the first one today.
hi, Jenny.
Catherine
Yes.
again, moin moin,
Moin, moin.
and Paula and Yvonne. Are they finished packing already?
Yeah, yeah. They're coming next week.
Ja, they are next week. They are here. En
Nice.
goedemorgen Ernst. Leuk dat je er ook bent.
Hello,
Hi,
hello, Bianca. Alushin.
Pijzen. Pijzen. The first frozen day in Pijzen.
Not sure.
I don't know where Pijzen is, to be honest.
I can
Is
look it
that
up
where
with
you live?
maps.
Mm.
I'm
En
not sure.
Axel, selamat pagi. Bianca, hallootje. Hi,
Alushin.
Philip.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're still in Bonaire.
Okay, yep. Hmm.
And Marjolein went diving.
Oh, Marjolein.
Hmm.
Wow, that's nice. Did you go diving this
Hmm.
morning? Wow. Ooh.
Ja, ten noorden van Drenthe. Ah, there you go.
Ah, I didn't know that. But the first ice is there, which is good. Well, it's November.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It seems almost
Oh,
like
you
a
know
sort
what?
of normal
Arjen, I'm not sure about the date. Let me check. But I have an idea for a December stream, actually.
Okay.
So what about on our the 3rd of December live stream? We're doing Sinterklaasgedichten. So
Okay.
all of you, you can start now, and you can um, you can sign up right now for our Sinterklaas stream. And if you want to join, then we will put your name in a small bowl, and then we will send you a private message by Facebook whose name you have drawn. And for that person, you have to make a little poem, a Sinterklaas poem. And if you
Okay.
want to send a present, that's fine too. And we will join. Yeah, you will join, Ian.
Yeah, of
I
course.
will.
I mean,
Yes, of course. We will put our names inside too.
sure.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And for those, because not everybody is Dutch. For those who don't understand, like people like Philip, maybe This is like a secret Santa kind of thing, because we celebrate Santa Claus, Sinterklaas, in early December, in case you don't know. And and Wim says today Sinterklaas is coming in Bonaire. So yeah, we have our own version of Santa. It's called Sinterklaas.
And so it would be fun if you want to join. So
Yeah.
you just the only thing you have to do now is send a message on Facebook and said yes, I join. And then Arjen, who is the better administrator of the two of us, will write down your name, and then we will do a draw at the end of this stream. What do you think, Arjen? Can we do it like that?
Sounds good. So let's
Yeah.
just. So if you could wait. So what I would like people to do is to just put this text in the chat, and then I can collect your comments.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And so if you want to join our little secret Sinterklaas poem extravaganza, just make sure you put the text there, Sinterklaas, put it in the chat, and then we know that you want to join.
Yeah, it will be fun. And then
Yeah.
And how do we do that on the 3rd? Will we read?
We'll find it. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We will read
Yeah.
the poems, or
Yeah,
we
can take turns.
on the screen or something like that. You have to send the poems to us, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that will be
So,
fun.
Yeah, so don't be shy. If you want to join our Sinterklaas thing, just put the hashtag Sinterklaas in the chat. And hi, Charlie. Hi, Yosin. And yeah, it's going to be, it could be fun, for sure.
I think it will be very funny.
Yeah. I can't believe almost a year has passed already. Time does fly.
Or, Arjen, everybody that wants to join can write a poem. And then we don't know who sent us what. And then we pick out the poem and give it a prize. Something like that?
Yeah. I would suggest to kind of figure out the specifics when we're not live.
Yeah.
So
Catherine is joining.
Yeah, so Katrien is the first one. So hashtag Sinterklaas. There you go.
And Desiree as well.
More. Perfect.
And Yvonne is doing. Oh, that is fun. So we already have 3. Come on, guys. Come on. It will be very funny on the 3rd of December in the live stream.
I think so too. So we've got 3 entries already. So.
Okay, and Albert and Sonia are celebrating Sinterklaas on the 3rd, but I'm sure that's not on 9 o'clock in the morning, Albert. So just for an hour or so during breakfast, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi.
You will join us as well for the Sinterklaas stream. Oh, I saw very quickly a message passing by from Raymond. Did you see that?
Where? Email?
Yeah, it passes by on my screen, talking about the live stream of the 26th.
Yes, he's joining next week.
Yeah.
And so next week, Raymond Winnekes. Let me just put this quickly up once more. So on the 26th of November, next week, Raymond Winnekes will be joining us for the second time as a guest. The first time was in April with us. And he's going to explain to us in a little bit detail. He's going to outline basically what the course is all about. And of course, I'm talking about our underwater photography workshop that will take place in March next year, from the 12th until the 22nd. And yeah, I asked Raymond to put something together to give us a bird's eye view of what the course entails and what you can expect, and hopefully it will inspire people who have not signed up yet to do so. So that's going to happen next week. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yes. And for those that don't join the underwater workshop this first time, I am pretty sure that if it's successful, we will do it again. And
Yeah,
Raymond already said so much. So just to lift a little bit of the curtain to see what the course is about, I think it will be interesting for everybody.
yeah, for sure. And maybe it will even teach you a small thing or two. So,
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Marjolein.
Oh,
She's
poor
coming to
Marjolein.
work. Yeah,
Back to work.
yeah.
Mm.
So, well, for this week, you just came back from a trip with
Yeah,
your grand.
exactly. It was a trip, bold, underlined, and with a lot of, how do you say that? Challenges. We don't say problems, we say challenges.
Yeah.
And a big part of those challenges was because I made one stupid mistake, and that stupid mistake escalated, and the stress did the rest. And then we had some weather and airlines concerns as well during the trip. So let's say that it was not the best trip of my life. Let's say
But
that.
you did get to see orangutans.
Yes, eventually we arrived in Medan, eventually.
Yeah.
And thanks to the flexibility of the owner of the small guest house and the company that did the trekking, um, we had the days that we planned to do the treks. And I have to say, that was impressive. It was really nice to do. And if you ever
Okay.
end up in Sumatra, then I can definitely recommend you to go to do this. If you're about my age, or even over it, or just under it, then maybe you should consider doing it one night in the jungle and not two. It's I did it, and it makes me a little bit proud. But I have to say that 2 times 6 to 7 hours um, trekking over mountains and climbing down again was a little bit over the top for me. And I have a very good stamina. But the last part, the last, let's say, 2 or 3 hours of the second day, I could not say I was enjoying it still. The mountain went down like this, very, very steep. And
Hmm.
since I broke my leg, I am terrified of falling. So that was not the most fun thing to do. But we saw a lot of beautiful nature. We saw orangutans, pigtail macaques, long-tail macaques, gibbons, um, baboons, huge monitor lizards,
Hmm.
turtles. Yuna even claims to have seen a crocodile, but nobody takes her really serious about that. Not also not the guides.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things I liked most during the trip was the extreme consciousness of pre, 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 how do you say it? Um, Preserving nature. It was really, really very well done. Um,
Hmm.
Another thing that I liked very much is there is no feeding the monkeys anymore. There's no
Oh, perfect.
water feeding. They are not lured out of the trees. They don't get additional food to sustain themselves, which means that the forest is getting healthier and they can feed themselves, which is, I think, it's a very good thing. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
it has a very healthy orangutan population there as well. So that I can really recommend that company too. So if you consider it going there one time, just give me give me a heads up, and I will be happy to share.
Perfect.
So that was really nice. Getting there from Manado was a little bit of a hassle, to be honest, um, because we had to fly over Singapore, and then I made some mistakes. But anyway, that was the focus of the trip, and yeah, that was very positive,
Yeah, and a few lessons learned.
and a few lessons learned. Yeah, amongst which is that you are going to book my tickets next time.
Yeah, yeah, we'll triple check it.
Exactly.
Um, cool, perfect. Well, I have because yeah, I was a little bit struggling today as for what we were going to cover today in the stream, which is part of the reason why it went up fairly late in the day. I was going through my photos because we've done quite a couple of a number of photo series now, but I never really showed my photos, and I thought maybe it's an idea to kind of explain or show everyone what North Sulawesi was like through my lens from the first day that I arrived.
What a good idea.
So thank you. And it's a mishmash of all kinds of different stuff. It's hardly anything ocean related because most of these photos are from 2016-17. I didn't grow my gills yet, so it just kind of gives you an insight of um, what I saw and did when I came to you first when I arrived here in November 2016. So I thought that would be a bit of an idea.
I think it's fantastic. I
Okay.
think I would say the floor is yours.
So yeah, we're starting with the first photo. I think this is one of the first pictures that I ever took when I arrived. It was November 11th, 2016. I very fondly remember that day. Joyce picked me up from the airport, and my basic Bahasa was no more than good morning, good afternoon, and 1, 2, 3, and thank you. That was about it. And yeah, so and I remember you were busy. You were I think you were hosting an IDC. You were teaching. Herman was welcoming me, and after dropping off my bags, he showed me my room. I was walking around the old place, and of course, the first thing that's very inviting to walk down is the jetty, and then I took this shot. And this boat is still here, and it's now in Lembe. Actually, it's
Yes,
Thalassa
it
15.
is. Mm.
Yeah, so so it's like I said, it's a bit of a mishmash, but hopefully you guys can enjoy this short presentation. I do miss my camera a little bit, Simone. It's my Sony NEX.
Yeah, where
It
is it
was
actually?
I still have it, but it was basically taken over by the climate.
Oh,
And so yeah, it needs some. I think it needs some detailing, some micro cleaning to really
maybe
work the
you can have
switch.
it surfaced.
Yeah. I think so. But I don't know how much that's going to cost me. If it's more expensive than a new camera, I know where my choice is. Um,
Yes.
and of course, I was fairly green. I haven't been to Asia that many times. I've backpacked for a couple of months there, so I knew a little bit what to expect. But it's always nice, you see these kinds of things, and it's like, oh, that's nice, and then it turns out to be a pretty nice picture. And um, just so you know, these photos are not necessarily to showcase my photography. It's more um, the way I remember the place and what I thought looked interesting or memorable to me. Um, and then,
You also
yeah,
style,
sorry.
definitely. You also have a very nice photography style.
Thank you. But yeah, I need some practice because it's been a while. Um, and I think this is taken somewhere when you were already going to the Netherlands. I believe you were going to spend Christmas with everyone, and So I would join in the boat and go snorkeling. I didn't, yeah, like I said, no open water license yet, and that I would bring my camera and just kind of shoot these kinds of things, guests on the boat, that sort of thing. I was very jealous of all the divers. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. All these scuba divers with their gear and they're going down and I can't go. and and then I was happy enough to stay on the boat, but I was also like, wow, I wish I could join them. I'm wondering what that's like. The snorkeling was fine and fun, but it's of course nowhere near yeah, because in my mind, especially back then, scuba diving was really cool. So
Do you remember who were on the boat? Probably not you.
I do remember these guests, but I do not remember their names.
You
I believe
recognize any of those?
I remember the couple sitting in the middle of the frame with the yellow hat. That guy, they're an American couple, and the lady on the right and the gentleman all the way on the left, they were part of a family, Dutch family, but I honestly don't remember their names.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, super clear skies, the wide skies of North Sulawesi. It's always nice. I believe that's Irfan sitting there in front with a striped shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this was one of the first jobs you gave me, Simone. Can you help design a T-shirt for the IDC?
Yep.
And here is
Aris.
Aris. Yeah, thank you. And behind him, you see Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just made it to instructor. Very proud,
Yes.
proud moment.
He just sent me a message, by the way.
Mm.
He's in Bali at the moment,
Oh,
working
okay.
in coral preservation
Oh, perfect.
until he gets the chance to go to Japan.
Yeah, yeah, he's a fine gentleman.
Absolutely.
He's a character. I like him. And yeah, this is you with the examiner.
Yes.
I
Wow, I
don't.
look
I
young.
don't. Yeah, of course, it was a few years ago, but it was also before all the other BS that personally and as a company we walked into. Um, so this was yeah, the good old days, I guess. But now we're going to move forward to other good old days. We're going to make new good old days, I bet.
Yes.
What's the name of the examiner?
Yeah, I knew you're going to ask me that.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, let me know when you do. And this is one of my favorite shots I've taken here of all the pictures I've taken so far.
Yes.
This is on a very low shutter speed. I was, yeah, sorry.
Can I make a guess where it is?
Yeah, I think you know where it is.
It was on the end of the jetty. Yeah?
No, it was actually under the little pavilion. You walk down the steps, and then there are these two ramps going down, and I was lying down on those ramps, and yeah, so I was lying on my stomach to photograph these crabs, and with my tele lens and a low shutter speed, and because that was a tip given to me by Steven Weinberg. When you want to photograph crabs, you have to lie down so that they don't get intimidated by your shadow. And so I took this shot, and I love how dynamic it is. I love the color and the water just washing over these crabs. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's cool.
I think we should make a print for that for one of the rooms.
Yeah, maybe we should.
I love this one.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it myself. And this is the old pizza night. And here we have Maria, and Marie Xavier, yeah, Maria, a member of the mafia syndicate, as it says on her shirt. But yeah, those Tuesday nights were a lot of fun, especially in the beginning. Cold beer, nice pizza, good company. Um, very nice. It's one of my favorite things ever in North Sulawesi, Simon, the pizza nights.
Yes. We will reinstall them.
Yes, yeah, yeah, we should do that, definitely. And here's a moth that I thought looked nice. Looking a bit like an airplane on the tarmac. Um, yeah, you see
Beautiful.
these things. Thank you. You see these creatures, and then it's like, ooh, I want to take a picture of that. I still have a photo. I don't have it here, unfortunately, of a tiny, tiny little frog. You had these tiny frogs around the
Shiny.
resort. Yeah, they were like literally millimeters big, but I don't have the. I couldn't find that photo. And this is Tomohon, the black cat called Tomohon. I remember. She was sort of owned by everyone at the resort, I think.
Yeah.
A name given to her by Dan, who worked with us at the time, and because the joke was like, if you don't behave, you're going to go to the extreme market in Tomohon. So I guess that's how she got her name.
Mm.
Stealth. Yes, exactly, Axel. And then yeah, some shots of the kids from the school doing performance with a guest, and you can see how long ago this is. The all the chairs are still brown.
Yeah.
And the Christmas lighting is hanging. The waterfall lighting is hanging from the edge of the roof. So it's quite a few years ago. And yeah, we're nearing Christmas time. Around this time, you are definitely not at the resort. You are in Europe. You're promoting the business. I'm still having a great time hanging out with everyone and
Yeah.
soaking up the Sulawesi experience. And I joined Herman and the gang to the school. They had a Bible meeting, and Herman was scolding kids for not doing their homework, etc. And yeah, it was such a great introduction to the school. Um, and I was just happy walking around in the background taking these kinds of pictures because I quickly got the sense that the foundation Kehidupan Anda could maybe use a couple of photos, so I kind of took it on myself to try and get some nice photos out that we could use later. And here's some music lessons given by Dan's sister and her partner. A lot of
Yes.
fun. Um, uh, they did music, they did theater lessons, roaring laughter, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, a lot of fun. It was very nice. And then they did a performance later in the resort as well. And this is a service in the Church of Tonkeina. I think it's a Christmas service. There were a couple of guests among which myself, obviously, and there was singing, there was handing out of gifts. Um, all in all, a very nice day. And of course, I had to include this one, our good friend who sadly passed away in June. I miss him a lot, Simone. I'm sure you do as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Go take the next picture, please.
yes, but I want to remember him like this.
Yes. Makes me
And
very, very sad. I miss him a
yeah,
lot. Yeah.
yes, yeah. And I know a lot of people watching us right now do as well. Um, this is the Kali waterfall, I believe. Um, First time there
Nice.
as well. I was still very much in tourist mode, so any opportunity to follow, I took, and yeah, and then at night I took the shot of Manado City from the jetty. All the red lights you see there, because this was taken at a very low frame rate, at a low shutter speed. Those are all blinking lights of all the cell towers, so it looks like they are permanently on, but they're not. So, but yeah, the bridge had.
Wow.
Sorry.
You took this from the jetty?
Yeah, yeah, with my
Oh,
telelens. Yeah, and the bridge was. I don't know how old is that bridge, Simone.
not very old yet. It took about 10 years to build it. I
Hmm.
think I told you that story that the initial contract was given out to two different companies, one Indonesian, one Japanese, and they started on either side of the water.
Yeah,
And the process was very slow and too slow, actually. But when they finally started to get closer to each other, they found out that, well, probably one of them held the blueprint upside down, or there was something else wrong.
mm,
But there was a difference of 7 meters in height and 20 meters apart.
yeah,
So the two bridge ends would never meet
yeah,
if they
yeah, yeah.
continued the way they were doing that. So then the whole thing stopped for a while
Mm,
until they started building again, probably found a solution. And we now have a bridge with a bend and
yeah,
a, a valley and a hill in it. So
yeah,
it's like, it's
yeah.
the weirdest bridge you have ever seen.
Mm-mm. But it's definitely one of Manado's landmarks right now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you can see it because every evening it's crowded there with
yeah,
people and
yeah,
small food stalls and
yeah. And the first time you're driving down, you're like, why are these people not being arrested? Because that would happen anywhere else. People are just hanging out.
this is Manado.
Yeah, exactly. Mana mana Joe. And
Mana
this
Mana.
is taken in Pandu. We had some lunch with a few guests. They wanted to hire a scooter, so we were driving around, and yeah, and they wanted to try the local food, so we found this little stall. And I love this picture of this Ibu
Yes.
in her business. I like the lighting. It's,
Yes, it's
yeah,
beautiful. And you see how friendly and how sweet people are
yeah,
always.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So this for me is yeah, I chose it because of its friendliness and a nice light. And here's another little atmosphere picture of lunch.
Yeah, you're so
And they
good
were
at that.
sorry.
You're so good at that kind of pictures, really.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. And there we see Daisy, who was very worried in the beginning because she had never been to Asia before. And so the first time we went out to get some drinks in Manado City, and she ordered like a, I don't know, like a drink with some ice. And the first thing she did was when it arrived was she took out the ice and threw it away. And I was like, you don't have to do that. I mean, the ice is perfectly safe. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. No, 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 it's okay. And then, fast forward to this time, and then she's, completely having all the local food and drinks without a care in the world. So it took a little while to adjust and to acclimatize to the local style of
Mm-mm.
eating and drinking, but she adjusted very quickly after that.
Climate iced. That's nice.
Yeah, acclimatize. Um, some Katrili dance. I like this because of the lower shutter speeds and with the flash, so you get these very dynamic pictures. And there we see a very young Mario in the center.
Yes. Now working for us.
Yes, yeah. Where does he work now?
Mario,
Yeah,
housekeeping.
uh, Mario the student.
Oh, the Mario student. No, actually,
Oh,
I was in touch with him a month ago,
hmm.
and he sent me a message. He was in the UK, actually.
Oh,
He has a
really?
he has a British girlfriend. Yeah,
Ah,
and
look at him.
he was speaking English with a hot potato in his throat.
Oh, really? The Queen's
Yeah,
English.
okay. Yeah, the
Oh,
Queen's
wow.
English.
Oh, good job, Mario.
Yeah.
Well done. Fantastic. New Year's Eve.
Oh,
Lots of
and Sandy
singing.
singing.
Yes, yeah. These two very nice Japanese ladies who were very un-Japanese. They were mixing it up with everyone. I remember it was very nice, and yeah, we were dancing around the bar and going circles with Fendi singing. Uh, Very nice. But yeah, I love this shot. It's just so cheerful, and and especially the lady in the back. She's just yay, waving their arms. I don't know. I like it. This is a bit of a different story. This is Sinta. Some of you
Yeah.
may remember her. She was a waitress with us, and I had this silly idea years ago to start a website called Bikers of Manado. And because I thought at the time the biker culture was very special, at least it's very different from what we're used to. I wanted to do like photo series of bikers and their motorbikes. So this is one shot of that, and I asked Cinta to pose with her bike, and she happily obliged. And the thing is, Cinta was part, not anymore. She was part of a group or an organization called the Lady Bikers Honda North Sulawesi. And so Cinta asked me years ago if, hey Fendi, two night divers, two night dives, Lisa and sorry, excuse me, Lisa and Daniel. Ya, pakai nitrox. Ya, enggak. Telinga sakit. Iyo, so only dua. Thank you, eh? So anyway, excuse me. Cinta asked me, hey, so I have this, I'm part of this biker gang, quote unquote. It's not really a gang. We do charity work. We collect money for orphanages, and you know, when it's Christmas, we go around and this and that, and that sounds great. And she asked me, would you like to design our logos? I said, yeah, sure, I'm happy to do that. So I did. I did it free of charge, and in return, I was inducted into the Lady Bikers Honda as the only guy. So I was honorary member. I was invited to join them for a ride, for a drive around the highlands. And this is a couple of shots and with my camera. So I joined them, and this was part of my marketing package for them. So I would give them like a couple of photos, you know, try and make them look really nice, really cool. And this was taken. I forgot this is Bukit Doa in the
Okay.
highlands. It's
In the
these
Highlands.
yeah.
There's another guy there.
There is another guy there, but I don't believe he was part of the Lady Bikers.
Hey, can you show everybody the logo you made for them?
I need to look it up just a sec. Let's see. This was wow. When was this? Yeah, let's see.
2017.
Yeah. No, I just need to find the right lockup. Where is it? Oh, wait. I will upload the presentation quickly. Just a second, guys. See, I should have anticipated that, because part of me in the back of my mind knew you would ask for that.
Of course, we know each other.
And then I didn't get prepared. So I'm uploading it now, and in the meantime, just a couple more shots of that day of their driving with the Lady Bikers. On the right, you see Augustine, aka Titi, and on the left is Kaka. And Kaka, she plays for the other team, meaning she is not heterosexual. And Titi was constantly teasing her. So she was constantly trying to get a kiss out of her, and it was hilarious. And it was really funny. So let me just add my, so this is what I delivered for them back in the days. So this is their logo, the Lady Bikers Honda salute, and they were very proud of it.
A little bit Marvel.
Sorry?
It feels a little bit Marvel.
Yeah, I was trying to give it a bit of a vintage look with. So you see the lady. Yeah, the lady is inspired definitely by comic books for sure. It needed to look a little bit like tattoo art, comic, but also a little bit retro. So her helmet is more like a 60s style helmet. And then I tried to make everything look, yeah, just really cool. And thank you, Yossi. And yeah, it should be something that I wanted them to be proud of it. And they are and were actually. But unfortunately, they disbanded. Uh, and yes, exactly, Harley Davidson as well, of course. Correct. That was also part of the inspiration for that. Some more shots of Bukit Doa. They have these statues, these Minahasa statues. More rockstar shots that they could use on their social media. And then we leave the lady bikers behind, and this is Tulude, which is a yearly festival in Batu Saiki, and it's yeah, it's got this whole ritual, and I was quite impressed by how everything looked and how people were dressing up and singing, and this gentleman on the left with his sunglasses caught my eye. He stood out to me. He looked very cool in a way. He looked like a very handsome man, so I wanted to
Okay.
capture him. Yeah, it's all in a moment, of course, and yeah, a lot of singing, guitars. I love the gentleman in front here, missing a few
Yes.
teeth. And this lady was when she was singing, she was singing to the sky, so to say, with her eyes closed and completely in rapture. So that was so yeah, I like to capture that. Hi, Raymond.
I
How are you?
mean,
And this is you with remind me.
Tessa,
It
I
was part of
think.
her. She was one of the ladies who had that accident.
Tessa.
Um,
I helped
Tessa,
her with
yes,
therapy for her leg. Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah, in the pool.
Yes.
And I love this shot. Um, it's it's I think it kind of embodies what you stand for.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think some of you might remember this. This
Oh,
was, I
yes,
believe, in
yes.
February.
Fantastic people.
Yeah,
These are both are vets,
yeah,
and they came from Jakarta, and they operated on Nolan when he dislocated his hind leg, and
yeah.
here um, the vet said I had to put him down. He was only 7 months at that time, and I really didn't want to do that. And
Wow.
eventually, after a lot of calling around, and I found these two people, and the doctor in the middle, the lady, she immediately said, "Yes, I will come, but you have to buy us a first business class ticket." And I was like, "Okay, okay." Because, and then she said, because I want to bring all the equipment. And she came with a completely surgical equipment, complete surgical equipment, everything. And she and her assistant operated on the table in the classroom on Nolan. And it was very professional, and they were so sweet. And
Yeah.
and for me, what was amazing, she's a Muslim lady coming all the way to Manado to operate on a dog,
Hmm.
which for Muslims is not not an animal that is part of their culture.
It's considered haram.
It's considered haram, and
Yeah,
so they came, and they were the sweetest people. Honestly,
yeah, yeah. That
yeah,
was quite nice. So that's another like moment that I fondly remember.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah, and yeah, one of also my favorites and a guest, two-time guest already on our live broadcast. Good old Brendan.
Brennan.
The president of Shark Guardian giving a lecture in the class, looking very serious. He looks like he's trying to hypnotize the class, but no, he's just.
In a way, he's doing that.
Yeah. He did actually, and here you see some shots of kids listening to his story with Aris translating at the time, and I love this.
And this
I'm
1-year-old
sexy.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. And here's Aris translating, laughing it up with Brendan. And this is, I believe, Tessa. Is this Tessa?
Tessa,
On the
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the girl's name on the left?
I don't know.
Forgot. Anyway, they were completely mesmerized by the story, and this is I mean I don't know if I remember correctly, but Brendan would say something. He would call out numbers like 100 million sharks are killed yearly, so that means that every second 3 sharks get killed, and I can only imagine them being in shock listening to that information. So, but the facial expressions are great. A group shot of the whole of the class after the session, and then some shots of Lembe. This was Lembe's the first time. I think I joined to Lembe, or the second. I'm not entirely sure. I think the first time.
Is this the trip that we brought all the plants over?
Maybe. Yeah, could be. It was the trip where we did the first stone laying, and here you are singing with the guys.
With Arnold and Surya, yeah. Sorry.
And this is the
Old
what used to be the shipwreck in front of our resort, and then disembarking from the boat. Yeah, there was nothing there. There was no jetty. It was just a muddy hill and some terraced ground. And of course, all the locals came. Local kids came looking. I'm sure some of these I know, but they're so small. This for me is very funny because it was just
this is such a cool picture.
Yeah, just standing in the mud with your
Sunday
best.
shoes.
Yeah.
And the nice bag.
Contrasting to this.
Yep.
And then the first stones get laid, and there's some mortar and some rocks, and everybody took turns. And under proceedings were done by the Pendeta, the local priest. Here's Jacob. And anyone who was anyone took turns laying a stone at the time.
Yes.
And this is very funny to me. These 2 ladies from the U.S. One of them, I believe, her name is Silver, and they had never done diving. They only came snorkeling, and so I was around with my camera. Lovely people, and they. I believe Dan managed, or you even. I'm not sure.
Dan did. Dan did this.
Convince them to do open water, and they loved it. And
no, they did discover scuba diving, but it was the longest discover scuba diving that we have ever done, because it took 2 full days.
Okay. But yeah, they loved it, and
they loved it, yeah, they were. Do you remember exactly how old they are?
They must have been in their late 70s.
Yeah, one was a little bit younger. There was 71, and the other 76, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. And it just goes to show, right? It's never too late to learn.
Absolutely.
And I love this smile, hanging in the water, sunshine, in gear. I love that. She looks so happy doing this, and I love it. Another favorite of mine on the beach, when it's low tide, the soldier crabs come out. And this is again with Steven's tip, lie down, and then they will come out. So yeah, beautiful creatures. Baruga, always beautiful.
Yes.
And again, this is taking my own advice to heart. The diagonality in the shot, and it makes for a fairly nice shot. It's somewhat mysterious because you don't see them all. You just see the one, and then the face that is kind of whistling. I love that.
Yeah.
This is on a beach on Lembe Island with some school kids. I believe this was on the same trip with when we brought the plants, and during a break, we all went for a walk, and there was this rock, and then they all took turns running, jumping over the rock, and then doing karate kicks like this. But this was the one that stood out the most.
This is an amazing shot.
Yeah,
Really nice shot. Even the
yeah,
diagonal there.
yeah,
Wow.
very Bruce Lee. So I would follow them running, and then he jumped up and then go what the, and then he did that. So, and then some night shots of Manado. Again, this is very random, but I like this. This is near my neighborhood in Manado. This is by Pau Dua, the giant supermarket that is now no longer in business. But it was a fairly busy area. But it was 11 at night, and I took my camera and my tripod, and I just wanted to take a couple of night shots. So I did. Same like this one. This is near, I forgot, 0 Point. Really low shutter speed, so you really capture only the rear lights of the cars. But I like to take shots like this sometimes. And this is on the Megamas in Manado. This was, of course, pre-COVID, and there would be these events. There was a skateboarding competition. There was a breakdancing competition. We went out together with Satoka and Evie. And I love this kind of stuff. I love these kind of subculture things. Skateboarding, breakdancing, graffiti, whatever it is. And these were, I believe, mostly kids from Jakarta. Because the skateboarding scene in Manado is really very, very tiny. But yeah, they had the whole parkour set up with jump ramps and rails and all these obstacles. And this was my favorite because it was very dark and difficult to get good shots. And I just like this sense of speed you get from this guy. And yeah, this is what it looked like from the other side. It was pretty crowded. And everyone's hanging out in front of the Indomaret and the KFC. Quite a crowd, actually. Very nice. And people would applaud and scream when somebody did a cool trick. It was very, very nice. It reminded me of skateboarding competitions when I was younger. I love you guys. So here we have Ify and Satoka.
Yes.
And,
And then for the ones that don't know, Ify, she did her dike master course with us.
Mm.
She was a
Yes.
couple of months with us. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. And this is Jalan Roda. The yeah, it's kind of like a
One of your favorites.
yeah. It's a nice place to hang out, especially if you do a city tour. This is the place to go, in my opinion, because you get a very nice slice of local life. There's all these coffee stalls. It's this covered sort of marketplace with all these little restaurants and coffee places. And it's quite nice to just sit and watch people. This was in Tomohon. What do you call these again?
Bendy.
Bendy, yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and yeah, it's very nice to track it with a longer lens, and you get that speed. And this is the last slide.
That's so funny.
This is the last one. This was
Yes.
Independence Day 2019, and so we do games, as everyone maybe knows. We do things like bag walking, man of war, tug of war, the ski walk, but also eating cookies and trying to maneuver a cookie from your cheek and then maneuver it into your mouth, and then you get hilarious pictures like this. So
This was so funny.
yeah.
Yeah. So the
So
lady here right in front, that's Dean. That's the husband of Jacob.
yeah.
And the second one is Omeng,
Mhm.
Oma, as many people know her.
Yeah.
The third one, I cannot really see who that is.
That's I forgot her name. She's the one of the housekeeping lady, the gardener ladies. Hartin, I
Oh,
think.
she's Hartin. Hartin.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and just you see Nova's shoulder right next to her.
Oh,
But this one was by far the funniest because of the extreme expression on her face.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's my my
Well,
yeah photo journal, if you will, of my first few years in North Sulawesi.
20 thumbs up. Really amazing pictures. I've seen some of those, but not even all of them.
Yeah, and I never
Yeah.
really did anything with them anyway, so they were just
But
oh, thanks, Albert.
very, very nice.
You. So yeah, that's it for this week, I guess. Raymond, we will speak to you next week. See you at 9 o'clock your time in the morning. I will talk to you before then. And so for everyone, once more, Raymond will be giving, will be hosting, well, we'll be hosting his workshop in March. And next week, Raymond is going to outline the course a little bit in a bit more detail. So you're, of course, more than welcome to come out and see what the course is about. Hopefully, it will help you pull the trigger and decide to join the course. And if not, I would definitely ask you to share the stream with anyone you know who would be interested in underwater photography. It's going to be a fantastic course. I'm very excited to have, we're very excited to have Raymond with us. And we're doing this together with Diving Holidays. We still have a couple of spots left, so be quick. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So Raymond, thanks for stopping by next week.
Yeah, and that concludes stream number 126. Wow.
I'm not counting.
I am. I am. Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah. We still have oh yeah, don't forget guys, the Sinterklaas stream.
yeah,
So if you join, give us a hashtag Sinterklaas, and
yes,
we will make something funny out of it.
of course, yeah. Thanks for the compliments, everyone. It was a bit of a last minute decision for me to do this. Yeah, it's
I think it was great.
I thought it,
Thank you very much for
thank
doing
you.
this, and
Okay.
thank you very much everybody for tuning in again. And
Jenny, it will be in
oh,
English.
that's a good question.
The stream will definitely be in English.
In English, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want to alienate our loyal people. Thanks, Raymond. I appreciate it,
Have a
and
nice
we'll see you
weekend,
next week.
everybody. And thank you very
For
much,
sure.
everybody. Bye, Jenny. Bye, Ernst. I still
Bye,
will
guys.
call you about the stream about the pictures, about the birds.
Yes. Yeah. So
Doei, doei.
have a great weekend. See you next week.
Bye, guys. Have a very nice